Hi everyone, this is Tammy, owner of Worthyworthitpriceless, and today's podcast is titled Principle of Least Interest. If you follow me on Instagram, I just posted about this. And what the principle of least interest is if you're dating somebody, two people are dating, and the person who cares the least or has the least interest in staying in the relationship controls the relationship. I was introduced to this concept in psychology in college, and it's a very interesting concept, and some people believe in it and some people don't. My thoughts on it is I actually do believe in it because I actually lived through it. And what it is basically, like I stated, whoever cares the least controls the relationship. And if you think about it, let's take the relationship part out of it just for a second. So just say if you are taking your child somewhere or a friend and it's their first time there, but you've already been there and you really want them to share that whole experience, but they don't seem interested, what will you do? You're like, oh yeah, you know what? This is the part, make sure you watch this part, or make sure you watch this. Or if you have a kid and you try to make sure that they have a good time. Like, look, buddy, look, honey, look at this part right here. You try to get them into it and you try to get them into the moment, or at least have a good experience like you have had, because you're basically interested more. And so it happens not just in relationships, but it happens in life. Like I said, if you're watching a movie with someone and you're like, this is a good part, make sure you watch this or this, that, and the third. And if they're not really interested, you try to get them to be interested. That's the same thing with this as far as even in relationships. You're invested, or you might be invested, or your partner isn't invested. Whoever isn't invested controls the relationship, because now, this is if you're one of those types of people that care that much. Like, if you're somebody that don't care about the relationship either, that's just neither here nor there. But for the most part, you're trying to get them to either stay, or they're like, I don't really want to be here. I want space. I want to get out of this. And you would try to change yourself in order to make them happy. Like I stated, I know this from experience. I was in a situation, or I have been in situations where, for the most part, I cared more. Like I've talked about this on the podcast before, but if you don't know, like, I love. Like, Valentine's Day is my favorite holiday. Everything. Like, I love. I love to be in relationships, and unfortunately, I haven't dated people who felt that same way. And so a lot of times what I would do is I would go out of my way in order to make them happy. Whatever they wanted, I would do it. Like, you want your favorite meal, I would do it, or whatever. And a lot of times, or majority of the times, that wasn't reciprocated to me. So for the most part, I was doing everything for them, or whatever made them happy. And they were doing whatever made them happy, and it was just the point that no one was making Tammy happy, type of thing. And although we're just talking about that, and that's somewhat of a discussion, but I also want to give you encouragement to not, or one, to recognize if you are in a relationship like that, and two, try to make some adjustments or changes. Talk to your mate if you can, or whatever, and discuss how you feel about this. Because the one thing I don't want you to do is to stay in a situation like that for too long, because it's going to drown you out, or basically it's going to drain you. Just point blank. Because if you care about yourself, if you care about them and they care about them, then who is pouring into you, who is caring about you, who is loving you? It is draining. And you don't want to be in a one-sided relationship or a loveless relationship. You have the power to control that narrative if you would want to. Some people, I'm just going to see, I'm going to try. hopefully that, they'll change or whatever. And for the most part, some people don't change. It's just not in their nature to change. So you have to recognize that. If you recognize that early, or as early as you can. And a lot of times people don't realize it. They don't realize that they're in a relationship. You're just somebody who is a nurturer, or you're someone who just cares for other people. And you really don't see, like, oh my gosh, like, I'm doing everything for you and you're not doing anything for me. And then some partners will play the victim role. Every time you try to bring up something, well, I'm always doing everything for you and all that. And they're like, and then somehow it's turned back on you, that, or they'll try to gaslight you, like, well, I try to do everything I can for you, and you're not doing anything, and you don't even acknowledge what I do. And you're like, wait, what? You know what I mean? So it's one of those situations. You have to be careful about the person that you're dating and how you approach certain situations, because how some people are is that they are always the victim. So this is somewhat going into a different type of topic, but it kind of goes all together, because I want you to be aware of who you're dating as well. Because some people, you might be dating someone, and no matter what you say or do, it always turns that you are apologizing when you are the one who's hurt. Somehow they'll turn it back on you, and it's, you're the bad guy. Somehow they'll turn it on you that you're not doing enough. And so what you'll end up doing is trying harder to please them. And at the end of the day, they're just sitting there continuously doing what they want to do. I want you guys to be aware of that if you're in a relationship like that, or if you're in a friendship. That is very toxic. And that is like a gaslighting, narcissistic type of sociopath situation. And you have to be careful of that, because it messes with your mental. For some reason, now all of a sudden you think that, if you're a woman, your intuition is off. Maybe I'm thinking this too hard. Or if you're a man, you might be thinking, man, I'm overthinking or whatever. And all it is that they're playing mind games with you. So I just want to give you that sort of encouragement. But let's just get on to the other thing, because I don't want to go too far off. But either way, just be careful of, be aware of what situation or what type of situation that you are in. Because although you may love somebody, and although you may be trying to do what's best, some people only want to hurt you or bring you down. So please be cautious, be aware. Don't have so many butterflies in your stomach, or wanting to want this relationship to work out so much that you're blinded to what's going on around you. And I don't want you to wake up one day and your heart is broken, and now you have to sit up here and try to heal and repair everything that someone else has done to you. So that is my encouragement. No matter what, always know that you have worth, you have value. Your presence is needed and necessary on this earth. Thank you guys for your support. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. Love you guys. And until next time, always know that you are worthy, worth it, and priceless. Bye.